brother with his ear to the street, bringing you that kingdom image, kingdom truth. I was just sitting here listening to this program, and he was talking about buy now, pay later for food, and it's growing. I'm like, really? So people are literally ordering food, probably more than likely from grocery stores and those fast food joints. And again, at the fast food joints, that's what caught my eye months ago. And I'm like, okay, people are buying food on credit and paying later for it. It's like the merchants. Hey, get your money, man. I'm gonna shut up. Oh wow, I'm not gonna talk negative about nobody or nothing. That's just a shocker. I was surprised to hear that. I'm like, people buying food on credit. Like, we did just become so dependent on others to do for us what I know the creator has given you the power and authority, has given you authority and instruction to do on your own already. What do you think successful people get these tools that they use to generate this success? God's law, the law. Now, I'm not going to sound, I might sound kind of conspiratorial, but understand, that's probably why they teach you in church. The law is done away with. Like, come on, what other reason? Unless they're conspirators with the state to make you a dependent. Like, the Fed had to allow the creditors the lateral room to be able to sell you food on credit. And why I say that is because they're getting the chop of you creating this cash flow through this business of selling food on credit. They get a chop for you to operate and do business. So the decisions they make is crazy. Instead of like this case in point with Ibrahim Traore, they tripping about Burkina Faso and coming up with falsified stories, which we know are falsified. You can look at all the videos that I've been posting about Burkina Faso. First of all, from day one, you know, they've been building their structure and infrastructure, governmental infrastructure and governmental structure. There's been a lot of downsizing and putting together. There's been a lot of downsizing and putting together their structure. You know, putting people in place to run their systems. And it's like, and they win it. And look at the outcome of that is by recognizing the infrastructure of the country that's popping up all over. You know, to change the foundation from the foundation, the root of where this, poverty come from. And it has so many different dynamics to it. People steady hearing about which the world should be in an uproar. They talking about running in Africa. I like this. It's African print. I'm gonna use that. They talking about running in Africa for regime change over there with Traore. Like, no, I think y'all better just stop while you're ahead, America and Europe. The gig is up. We know you in Africa. We know you perverting it, causing all this confusion and commotion so you can go in and steal the minerals. Uh I don't have it on camera, nor do I have the evidence to point to you stealing other than the videos that I've seen the United Nations being caught stealing, bringing things out through the truck. America controls the United Nations. You know? United Nations. That motherfucker sit right here in New York. I had to learn that. I was like, what? Oh, America, the beast for real. It's the daughter of the beast. Real talk. It's the mystery beast. I understand now. It's the mystery beast because it's operating on every tentacle, all the principles of the beast system. But I know a lot of people might not agree, but like I said, Rome is the beast. Rome is the beast. America is the daughter of the beast. Yeah, it's a daughter of Rome, Britain. Yeah, yeah. The crown and the pope are who established the contracts, the Asiento contracts. Contracts that were given to European nation states at the time, which came out of Rome when Rome was destroyed. It was broken into kingdom, nation states which you see today. And all of nation states received contracts to enslave the so-called Africans. And I say so-called because you have Hamites and Shemites that are heavily melanated dark people, dark skin, brown skin, shades of brown, even to light skin. But then let me help you understand my understanding of your pedigree, your nationality being based on what the Father established through His Word for the house of Shem. I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak on what the Father established through. Let me read this Numbers chapter 1. The Father established how to go about establishing to recognizing your nationality through your father, the house of your father. Compared to science and what the world follows, they will tell you about mom and pop, which mom and dad plays a very important role. But think about it, without dad giving up his seed, there ain't nothing popping. You can forget about you can forget about it. So I'm gonna stick with thus said the most high. Because if man withhold that seed, she ain't having nothing. So the Father's wisdom wins in this case. Numbers chapter 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. That's in Sinai is in Saudi Arabia, between Saudi Arabia and Africa. That's what Esau stepped foot in, which was a black man. In the tabernacle of the congregation, contrary to what you hear in a lot of the assembly of the house of Israel by way of Judah and Israel. Judah representing the southern kingdom, the sons of Shem, and the northern tribes that were formed out of this model of the house of Shem, by way of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and through their descendants. And in this case, Jacob and his 12 sons, which is the model that heaven is using. They are the servants of the kingdom of Israel. Hallelujah. So, let's see what the Bible establishes, how the Bible establishes determining your nationality. Of the congregation of the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their poles. Poles meaning pedigree. Let's look that up, see what it means in Hebrew. A skull is round by implication, a head, and enumeration of persons. How many people are in the family? Head, every man. Pole, skull, every skull, head. Enumeration of persons. How many persons of that household? Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their poles, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. Though, and Aaron shall number them by their armies. So you go in Numbers chapter 1, verse 2. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families, by the house of their fathers. By the house of their fathers. Because the father is responsible for bringing forth the seed. Yeah. The Most High is going to use that man, but it's carried through that woman. But man is carrier of the seed. You don't have man, you don't have nothing. Literally, you got nothing. And Hebrew, according to kingdom custom, let's just say in the Hebrew custom, we know your nationality is determined by the house of your father. You are what your father are. Whatever your daddy is, that's who you are. I hear a lot of people speaking against that. I don't. Yeah, you can have some variations for whatever reason in time that will cause even like pigmentation problems. Say like with the European, the so-called European. I believe they do come out of us. They were just in the area for whatever reason. You can find out and read biblically. That area of the earth that they stayed in, which was cold, lesser sun, although it did have sun, as far as the power of the sun, and that they lacked melanin, which makes it perfect for them to dwell in such areas. You have to see the significance of it. It's not about prejudice or racism, it's about staying alive. You stick them in Africa in the middle of the sun, the desert. We go out there, stick us out there for a month. We stay in, we sleep in the tents. We protect it, gate it up, and cover it up where no animals can jump in and get us. And just let's stay out there in the sun. We have pack it with plenty of water and plenty of herbs so we can sustain ourselves. We want the herbs because we super people. You know what I'm saying? We want that God food so we can operate as sons of the Most High under whatever conditions. But stick us out there for 30 days straight. No cover up. And let's see who survives. Naturally, what will happen. And it's non personal. So that had to come from the Creator Himself on them. And as such, they have to live in colder climates where there's colder and the sun is less powerful. That's who be messing with the sun, blocking the sun and the sun's power that's projected on the earth. Because why? It destroys, it eats them up naturally. It will eat their physicality, their physical being alive. That's the power of melanin. And that's a fact. It does not have anything to do with prejudice or racism. But back to the initial story. I done went everywhere. My stories be rather interesting. My storyline, my plot be rather interesting if you pay attention. I'm not all over the place. It just the storyline tends to go in different aspects, go in different areas, but it's all a part of the same nucleus. Stay with me, family. Yeah, this I be checking this guy out. I guess the Italian guy. He's still in Florida, and he been talking about real estate. I say he got a lot of people following him, so I don't think he no bullshitter. He got over 100,000 subscribers, and he been in the business for a minute. So, keep his ears to the street and pay attention. Put two and two together. He had discernment. He can read things. He sees what's going on. His name is Bordenaro. Michael Bordenaro. I always check him out. But he brought that story out. People are now financing groceries in record numbers. I immediately looked it up so I don't want to come on here and trying to act like I sound like I'm important or talking about something that's so important, but that is important. And I think people should know and people should pay attention and be aware of what's really going on in your immediate circle. It could be one of your people. Instead of just looking at and talking about what's happening, uh, start partnering up with your people, family. Partner up with your people. You might have a business. I don't have a business. Well, we got to stop looking at trying to run our business. Yeah, Joanne's is going out of business all over the country. It's gone. Yeah, they are closing. And I was like, wow, I spent a lot of money with them. That's why I got my Joanne's is where I went and bought my Cricket 2. I mean, my cutter. My Cricket cutter. I'm like, and they going out of business. All my tools, my cutter, my boards, Cricket Maker. My Cricket Maker came from there, which I could have got it cheaper somewhere else. But that's crazy. All of them closing. I'm like, wow, $10 Doritos. What the fuck? Yeah, I know y'all are giving up. Man, Trump gave HBCUs money. Y'all want to play politics, but that's another thing. Our people too damn dependent on government. Ain't nothing wrong with government in this order and how it's ran, but for the people to just be so dependent on them and not being, geared towards becoming self-sufficient, that's a bad government to me. I always said that's not a good government. Those are not ideals or principles that I will be pushing on people to become solely dependent on the government. You that goddamn thirsty where you want money? Come on, the government, y'all got to have more compassion for the people that you're governing, that you're doing business for. That's why this motherfucker is collapsing because y'all ain't taking care of no business in a righteous manner. Y'all just doing business for y'all friends with big business. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna last. It's not gonna last. You got to get down to the bare minimum. You got to get it out the mud, family. So that means why politicians talking about fucking with Burkina Faso? Because they're using their resources to empower their people and educating their people, empowering them, and getting them set up in business. That's why I got that idea from, which I've always said we don't plant nothing or do shit from our bare hands. So how do you expect to last? And you depending on a few companies to establish trade only through them? That's bullshit. And if these were leaders, they will be giving you tools that you need to empower you in your business so they can help you to create that tax bracket instead of asking our people all these dumbass questions when it's time to get to the bread. If these people that took the time to go and get a license and they got the license to operate, you know, okay, they probably used all they got to get so far with getting licensed. Okay, well, goddamn it, get them the tools and give them an empty building. America got enough empty goddamn buildings and parking lots or places people, yeah, empty lots. We can clean them up. We can clean them ourselves. Why I got to go through the alderman? I got to go through this one. That? No, Mr. President, you come in and you pass that order. You know, put the tools in those people in the people's hand and allow the people to go out there and become successful businessmen and women. That's what would make America great, and that's what would sustain the people, you know, and create cash flow, tax bracket for the put the people in a certain tax bracket where you can, you know, create to generate some cash flow for politicians. We know they ass gotta eat. Anybody saying you can't eat or shouldn't eat, but damn, you ain't doing enough for everybody. You doing it for particulars. That is not gonna work. I don't give a shit how long you went to school. That's gonna work for a few people. If you want to sustain the nation and keep it strong, build the infrastructure of a nation, you better pay attention to Troy Ray and stop listening to your constituents lying to you. Don't know shit what's going on. Ain't did no research. Ain't paying attention to shit. They could have took a trip over there and went and found out what was going on if they was real sincere about it. They giving you some half-ass information. I don't care who it is. They fucking lying. Make them go over there and put their boots on the ground and go live amongst the people and see what the hell going on. And then determine, come back with a checklist then. Not that it matters what you say. Don't determine if they should continue to have who in play or not. But if you want to prove something, go over there and move in there and dwell amongst the people in the villages and towns and see what's going over there. Other than that, you should shut the hell up. Have you put any money in there or anything behind it where you see and you know for a fact that the president and his cabinet done took it and used it for themselves to insulate themselves, and you got pure evidence? Hell no, you a liar. America fucking liars. Europe is fucking liars. Somebody better tell them people the truth, man. I'm not gonna lie to them. I'm not prejudiced or racist. I didn't say all white people, but America politics and Europe politics is fucking liars. And any nation that's supporting that shit, you a liar too. I'm not lying for you. God said, know the truth, and the truth should make you free. These people are fucking hallucinative. They fucking crazy. They make up anything. Don't fuck politics. Use the law. There's a natural law that's at work. You treat your neighbor how you want him to treat you. Period. It's called love. Y'all can't do shit out of love. Everything gotta be a bomb or a threat. If you didn't have people that existential that can cause, you know, that'll ride with you through your military and it was just your group, I think they ass a pipe down because then you'll be facing numbers that'll match yours. I think that'll pipe everybody down. You know, people will learn to pipe down and show love for one another. You know, that's why it shouldn't be no law restricting the Second Amendment. Or it shouldn't be no paperwork or what. Hell no. Everybody just carry. You don't need nobody to restrict or to allow. You need to have love for one another. Your ass just don't have love in your heart. Ain't nobody got to tell you know this. So when you it come across and you done did something you know you shouldn't have done because you don't have love for your neighbor like you should, like you got love for yourself. I don't care if you know him or not. God damn it. That's the only way it's gonna work. Stop with the politics. You know, people want to play these fucking games, political games. No, like I was saying, back to the church, doing away with the law. You see, law means instruction, family. Everything that you do have an instruction. That don't even make sense. Then y'all tell us that shit and people will argue up and down. just with a general basic conversation, I see things differently, fam. It's like what y'all don't get, I get it, and I be sitting here like do 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 like Jeopardy, do 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 do, waiting on y'all to get it. Like on the real, on the real, it's common sense. Law is instruction, which allows you to operate, you know, successfully where you will have prosperity in what you're doing. And not just if you prosper, that's good for the next man. You can't restrict him as long as he's connected to operating within the order of that law. You can't stop him, and he shouldn't be worried about that. But politicians, y'all ass in the way with that idea of you need to make the decision that you think is best that's going to bring longevity, prosperity, success and prosperity on a long-term scale. Hell no. They ass out of tune. They only care about their friends and enriching these people. Like that shit is old and outdated. This is chess. Learn how to your end game is a bomb or destruction. Like we don't know that. So we might as well let your ass know. Fuck, if we can't enjoy it, ain't nobody gonna enjoy it. Fuck them. On the real, on the real, if we ain't gonna enjoy it, ain't nobody gonna enjoy it. You gotta let their ass know. If you not ready to strike the fear of God in their ass, then you can just shut up. Shut up and support your brothers and sisters. That's 10 toes down out front. Now all these niggas talking this out front shit. We gonna see who out front and helping to uh, protect your brothers and sisters from foreign or domestic enemies. That's what we up against. This ain't the old time. We doing the research. We got the knowledge. We know there's a spirit that shouldn't be operating, but there's a war going on between good and bad. Do the right thing. What G tell you? What up, D? That's his saying. Do the right thing. That's the Nero. No, that ain't the Nero. Nero was my other guy. That's D. Oh, I think I still got your number here, D. But do the right thing, the right way. You know, do it the right way. You ain't got to keep doing it. And if you do it the right way, it's going to suffice everybody that's involved. It will affect everybody that is intended to affect. It's the law, which lets you know. Oh, yeah. First thing people would tell you, oh well, they didn't know, so what you no. If they don't know, then you teach them. If you're a real fucking leader, don't be no fucking crook and posing like you're a leader. People got to wake up from that. And if they not right, cut their ass off. You don't have to follow that. Mm-mm. That's why I speak about the word. It's a whole different world operating, family. If this world you following, you know, and I'm telling you it's not right. You see it's not right. Well, God is operating. He ain't never closed shop. People close shop because they're religious. But God's law is operating. If you follow it, you will be successful and you are sure to have prosperity and whatever work you are doing. Follow and keep and do his commandments. Follow his instruction. It's different from what they teach you in the schools and this and that, where they talking about we need to get rid of this wokeness. No, we don't need to get rid of no damn wokeness. Is you crazy? Wake your brain up so you can think, so you can discern, know the difference between right and wrong. We don't want no bunch of people sleep so you can go and make all the decisions. And long whoever making the decisions is the one that's in the people's face. So the people is constantly seeing you, they'll want to give you a little more extra. You know, Y'all want a little more, a little extra, too much. Let the next person share some of the extra. Damn, you gonna eat? Y'all thirsty. That's what's fucking the world up. Tell the truth. European politics is thirsty. It's not rooted in God's law. They don't have love for God's people. They will use your ass up. People walking around here ass wide shut, like, oh, it's okay. Just like I was just listening to that brother in Africa bringing out, he don't understand. I don't understand this neither. Now I'm finna shift the conversation. Why do Africa still have fucking visas where you got to, like, from going here, I'm in Chicago, I want to go to Indiana, I can just go through the toll road, pay a little toll, same difference. But I'm saying Africa, that's why I always had a problem with black people. You base your business and doing business on a model that's not even conducive for you and your people. Your people, things are set up different. Yes, we aspire to bring ourselves up, and we are rising, and we are doing business decent and in order, and it's growing exponential. It's growing, but I'm not basing my business on no business model. Do not lose your sprinkles, but I'm going to be a big brother. Hmm? Yeah, that'd be a nice print. But no, I'm not basing my business on what they how they run their house. Hell no. When we start doing that, mm-mm, they not right, family. All this is a year of exposure. I considered all that. I've been on that because we been knew that. Y'all ass still learning. You need to be awakened. The hell? Everybody need to be awakened so we can all be on the even play. Cat Williams said, put us all on the even playing field and say go. We're gonna see who go and get it. We go getters. I have to tell, remind people, you sure I was talking to somebody? You sure you'll be able? I'm like, huh? Don't be listening to nobody telling you, oh, Wayne don't show up. You'll call him and set up a job. People lying to you. You can look at my videos. On Facebook and through my YouTube, this channel. I only got Facebook, YouTube, and I got a TikTok channel. Family. You can see, look at the timestamps. You can see I'm in that back all the time working. I'm always available to work. Don't listen to nobody telling you them lies. Oh, he ain't never on time, woody woody woo, or whatever they selling you. Bottom line is they hating. Call me yourself and do business with me yourself. I gotta explain to him, brother. Like, you sure you gonna be? I'm like, bruh, whoever you listen to, please, I'm back here every day. You don't come back through here every day. I'm back here every day, whether I'm under a car or not. I'm in the backyard, probably working out more than likely on them weights for real. Because I miss having my bench right in my room where I could wake up, jump on my bench. I'm at war about that now. I'm like, shit, they going up on rent doing this and that. I need all my amenities. I'm paying more rent. Brothers, y'all know the shit we go through. Well, you shouldn't have this. No, you need to get out of my way. These are things that's going to empower me. I want my motherfucking weight bench in my room. Well, when I wake up, I can jump right on the bench and get busy. You know what you know what I'm saying? And on a consistent basis, hell no. And I'm not paying nobody shit when I know I have a developed routine from sitting in a penitentiary. I got a penitentiary workout for your ass. Who we used to watch? ESPN, Flex Wheeler, uh, who else? There were so many greats. A lot of these cats that's elders now, I watched when I was in the pen. Lee Haney. Flex was my man though, Flex Wheeler. Lee Haney. And there was a bald head brother. He was a natural bodybuilder. I can't think of his name. He come out in the late 80s, early, like middle 90s, early middle 90s. Natural. Man, it was a lot of talent, good talent in there. And we would glean from the routines. Watch the routines on ESPN. Go out to the yard and do them routines. Trying to do it the right way. Then we started ordering magazines. People would order magazines, and you would get the routines out the magazines, and that was priceless to us. We held that in value because if you locked up, education was important. Yeah, some I went to school, but I went to college. Once I started listening to what they was talking about with this misinformation and all, I was like, oh hell no! I believe I was in the American history course. That was in '94. I believe I was in what joint? No, that wasn't in '94. Yeah, I was in Pontiac then, but that was down in Centralia. I believe the name of that college was Cascade, or some shit. Was on Central. I think that was Centralia. I went to college down there. I went to American history. I took American history course, Spanish course, some other courses. College was free then. That's before Clinton was in office, but that's before people started acting weird as fuck. Talking about they need to charge us for education. Like, the fuck, nigga, I'm sitting here. What you want me to be a dumbass? Just get strong and come out and be a strong, big dummy, ignorant criminal? I don't think so. I mean, a strong, ignorant person, which would ultimately have to rely on criminality or criminal tactics again. Y'all better read Dr. Claude Anderson's book. The system that he laid out, how things are, is real, family. It's not no conspiracies or no. Only one conspiring is the wicked conspiring against goodness, against God's people. We all are God's people. I don't care what color you are. Your ass, nah, no, be careful because there's still some of the children of the fallen around. And they didn't come from the Most High. They came from the angels, which are not humans and shouldn't have been procreating with the daughters of men. I'm sitting there watching the program, and they showing the brothers and sisters, and all the Hebrews. They talking about it, bringing out the history. That's all you hear about, fam. I don't know how y'all missing it. People probably see it and all. They just making up. They not making up stuff like I was explaining to my lady. Look, baby. She's talking about the internet. You listen to the internet, they don't know what they talking about. I'm like, baby, listen. Pay attention to what we pay attention to what we read. When you Google something, you're gonna have information coming from multiple platforms, so many different platforms. Yes, you have to siphon through them, you know, to figure out what's real and what's not, but you have multiple. It's not one platform bringing information and saying hell, or like Wikipedia, you know. Wikipedia, I guess they are right, but I'm gonna question what Wikipedia bringing out because Wikipedia kind of prejudiced too. They're gonna tell you some shit about white people starting everything, and that's just not so. They not the progenitors of men. You can't create us out of white people. Let's just keep it a buck. And you make it about prejudice. Y'all made it about color. It was who was that? Carl Levon or Carl Linnaeus? Carl von Linnaeus or Carl Linnaeus? Sister Joy DeGroot talked about it. Dr. Joy DeGroot, she talked about it in her book, um, Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome. I got that book. It's upstairs. I should go get it. Matter of fact, let me turn this computer off. I was sitting here making a print. I went to sleep and got me a nice rest. That's why I'm still up. Went to sleep about 4 something. I was pissed off on a few things, but I had to walk it out and come home. I called myself gonna get into a creative mode, but before I left, there was an energy operating that was fighting me. Y'all just don't know spiritual warfare is real, family. I don't be doing nothing to nobody. Real talk. I know a lot of people like, yeah, that's what y'all always say. No, all y'all wrong because y'all assume. Never try to judge a book. Never assume. Never judge a book by its cover because assuming to make an ass out you. And that's making my thing to make an ass out you when you try to lump me into a category because I'm a man. Oh, he a man. Yeah, dude. No. Like I said, I made that video earlier. I know my lady gonna hear that video. She gonna probably talk crazy, but I'm like, shit, I got to. I gotta expose the enemy. The enemy to the black man and to the enrichment and security of the black family is really a lot of these sites with these women that's coming on here that's speaking about dividing men and women. Yeah, it's led of problems these relationships might have, but they don't mean that's like if I'm kicking it with one of the gods and he telling me about his problems and I'm identifying with certain things, I'm not gonna promote. Yeah, leave our ass. Woody woo. No, that's your lady. Uh, telling. Okay, you might be one of them brothers that say, okay, you got a background. There's certain things you've been doing. So how can you hold certain things against her, a thing against her? You know you've been doing it. You a hypocrite then. God is going to judge you for that. Jesus talked about that. Get the beam out your eye. Don't you talking about the speck that's in your brother eye when you got a beam, meaning you doing the same thing he doing, but you trying to condemn him for it. Remember the harlot woman? Remember them Pharisees was trying to get Christ to judge her guilty, saying she was sleeping with many men or something to that nature. Yeah, being a harlot. And Christ told her going. Christ told them, okay, whichever one of you are without sin that's accusing her, stone her to death. Stone her according to your law. It tells you to stone her, right? Stone her to death for that. Look that up though. Okay. Well, this that if it look up if that's the instruction for being a harlot, for a woman being a harlot. He told him, well, he without sin cast the first stone. Judge her. And then none of them do nothing. They left. Matter of fact. And once he was through writing in the ground, he looked up and seen all of them was gone, and she was the only one. He told her, okay, woman, go. And sin no more. You know, you did go, woman, and sin no more. This the traditions that we come from. When I'm hearing about Bible stories, or I'm hearing about Africa. I was just listening to a woman talking about a professor, one of the sisters' professors, a sister out of Africa. I forgot what continent, what country out of the continent she's from, but she was a historian. She was talking about the different aspects of slavery, how they went about organizing in groups, where they want to send those that they enslave to do certain things, you know. And I'm like, wow. And then categorizing men, women, and children. And she was just talking about the dynamics of it. But even in that, I see light for us as a people, especially why they talking about don't talk about. We need to get rid of this awaken. No, you don't. This is why you don't. This is who you are. That's the temple, a depiction of the temple in the kingdom of where? Judah. This is your people, them black people. So now I'm not gonna stop talking about the awakening. This is a fight against light and darkness. We the children of light, and whoever's speaking against this, even if they look like us, they are the children of darkness. And you are supposed to tear down spiritual wickedness in high places, family. You and darkness can't exist together. That's a black Hebrew communities flourished. You see that? Yeah, I just heard a story. There's so much information about it. That's why I'm talking about it because it's reconnecting us. Our people are awakening and returning to your first love, which is your creator, which is good for you if you know. That's what we need to turn back to. That's where we going with it. You did. I'll be back. I need some water.
circumcision on the eighth day, monotheistic worship, kosher-style diets, bear resemblance to pre-exilic Hebrew practices. The fall of Judah did not signal the end of the Black Hebrew story. Instead, it marked the beginning of a new chapter, one of dispersion, adaptation, and survival. From the ruins of Jerusalem, the memory of a once diverse kingdom lived on in distant African villages, in the chants of exiles along the Nile, and in the oral epics of black-skinned descendants who remembered Zion not only as a place but as a promise. Even in the Americas, descendants of enslaved Africans have identified with the Black Hebrew identity, connecting their suffering to the biblical narrative of exile and restoration. Modern scholarship has simply begun to catch up to what many African communities have preserved for centuries. The role of Black Hebrews in the rise of small communities is not a revisionist fantasy, but a recovery of historical complexity long suppressed by colonial historiography.
There's a lot going on.
As the field of Afro-Asiatic studies grows, and as DNA technology and archaeology progress, the story of Judah continues to unfold, not merely as an ancient
Judah.
but as a living history waiting to be erased. At the heart of this narrative lies a profound truth. The kingdom of Judah was never a monarch. Through the mosaic of tribes, tongues, and skin tones, its legacy belongs not only to the ancient Israelites, but also to the Black Hebrews who shaped its destiny, carried its burdens, and preserved its blame long after the temple walls crumbled. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next?
Them the stories I'll be checking out. Real tough. So we can have information that'll help you to overcome. If you stuck, that's how I overcome. America gonna say what they say, do what they do, and you got to be armed. You gotta arm yourself with the knowledge so you can be able to sustain yourself as a man, as a person, and especially your dependents. You got dependents, children, and a woman, especially in this time as a man. Hey, ain't no doubt about it. If you haven't been, it's time to redeem yourself. Me and one of the brothers was talking about that earlier, like, and I was pointing out to him, our group, Jump 52, and a lot of our group is the group Generation X that was filling the jail cells in the late 80s and early 90s. What up, though? Peace and bless. A lot of us, the 80s and early 90s, was the ones who was filling the jail cells because we want to be cocaine cowboys. You know, we want to hit the streets, sell dope, stick up, rob. We was doing too much. Yeah, Clinton did it. Yeah, they's bringing a lot of drugs in here, especially when they was in there dealing with, what was that? His wife was dealing with these different law groups. A lot of people out, like a lot of people, we not stupid, we know. How else was the stuff getting in here? We ain't on no damn plane. But yet, we was making decisions. We made decisions we shouldn't have made. But today, a whole different day and time. And like I was saying, our group was that group that was losing. We was losing a lot of people. A lot of men and women going down in the penitentiaries. And now today, which a lot of us was black sheep in our households, you know, and family. But today we found a lot of those black sheep are the ones that's awakened. They knew it was something something different going on. I always knew it was something different in the midst of what was being fed to us. I pay attention. I don't just listen to what people say. I watch what they do more so. People gonna tell you the best. They gonna put their best foot forth and show you the best. I don't want to see you in a crisis, but then again, I do. I want to see if you can hold weight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not fit to walk with you. Some people haven't been through what you've been through. Everybody, you don't, like I said, some people gonna put their best foot forward. They're not gonna tell you. But if you pay attention to my conversations, you ain't gonna get nothing but real over here. Yes, I told you. Yes, I have been to the penitentiary. Yes. I was not perfect, but I'm far from where I was then. That's the group that's awakened. That's the group that's studying around the clock incessantly. And family. Revelations are pouring. The Most High is with his people. He's showing you whoever has a heart for him. It's not just for his people. It just happens his people happen to be a model of servants. This is how he is. This is what he created, and this is how he expects you to serve him. Contrary to what we've been taught. Well, contrary to what we've been taught. And these are the people that are awakening and changing the game. So it matters. It's never too late for change. You may not see it as being significant, but it matters because you connecting to the kingdom and each one is connected to it. I'm connected to you, you connected to me. We one body in Christ. Yeah, you hear me saying I don't want to do business the American way or through how they system do it. But you got to understand, I'm not just speaking out the side of my neck because there's another system, a greater. There's a greater because Christ said it's greater. And now we done found that greater being what? The word, the truth, the law. What you talking about? The news? What is it like in the pen? A lot of learning, working out, discovering who you really are, because now you paying attention. You got a lot of riffraff going on in there too now. Don't get it twisted. That ain't no place I would promote for nobody to go. Because it can go either way. And trust me, it can be going the right way and you can be tried still. So I wouldn't promote that for nobody. That's not no place I would want you to go. But what you learn there, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for it because you ain't going to get it in the raw like you get it there. You're going to get men in an awakened state. Yeah, you're going to have some brothers that's on bullshit, but you're going to have brothers that's striving to do better. They know what got them, jammed up, and they don't want to be there, and they realize, oh shit, if I continue to go down, make these choices, this is what's going to come from such choices. And they decide to do better. A learning experience, everyday grind, shit ain't going to just change for you overnight. It's a lifelong journey. It's a part of life. It's the same, just however long it took you to get yourself jammed up for making bad decisions. That's just how long it's going to take to unjam yourself. So I would listen to my parents, I was one of them young hotheads like, shit, I could think for myself. I listened to my parents, but then I made decisions on my own, being hard-headed. I've always had this, like I said, an inkling that shit ain't right. So I always go beyond, do research, read. I always read to know things. I used to stay in the newspaper, stay on the news channel, stayed on the Christian circuit, that chitlin circuit with all the churches, all these pastors. The Benny Hinn's, what's her name? I used to watch her. She looked like the Joker kind of. I don't mean no disrespect. What's her name? She a Gentile. Joyce Myers. I used to watch Trump's. What's his advisor? What's her name? Over from Florida. I used to watch her. I used to watch Creflo Dollar. Uh, Juanita Bynum. Man, I used to watch all of them, bro. Bill Winston. I just seen Bill Winston in a sermon. Before Tony Evans left, when he first came out, I used to watch him. I used to watch all of them. T.D. Jakes. I mean, I used to watch it because I was hungry. And now I understand the Most High was opening my eyes. The more I was searching, the more revelation. My eyes were being opened. That's something I learned in the penitentiary. Because in the penitentiary, my continuance to know Jesus it's like it became stronger. I was reading so much and studying African history and connecting us and connecting the slave to know more about the slave trade, why this, why that, which I knew from my dad. I knew about marching. I knew about black pride, black coming together. Not black pride, but black people standing together to fight the system. From my dad. My dad marched. The teachers that I happen to be taught by. I love Miss Harris. Miss Harris taught us that we come from Africa. Now I understand. You're native to Africa. Some of us will tell you, no, we from the Americas. They put up a big argument, but all humanity come from Africa. Ancestors migrated there. That's a fact. Even your science will tell you that, but you'll hear all this modern day. We learned a lot in the penitentiary. It was a big learning experiment, although we know what it was initially established for, bondage. But you grow up, you mature real fast, I tell you that much. You're going to mature real fast. And you're going to realize the things all like what the elders be telling you. You hear people, I hear a lot, like I see the youth, they don't want to listen or take the time to listen when the elders try to explain, man, youngin, back in my time, if you did such and such, you know how you get people flip them off, flip an elder off real quick. No, man, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that. That's back in your time. That's your, people, however, teach his own. But when your ass get in the penitentiary, you remember that. I've heard so many, man, I remember elders said that. And I didn't listen. So if you don't get nothing, man, pay attention to when the elder is listening. I mean, when the elder is laying down some game. I hear him talking that shit about, but no, you fucking with an elder right here that work out too. I'm just like you, youngin. But I got some maturity with mine. I got a little experience, some knowledge in areas you don't got. Even if you're a millionaire, what that mean? Do you have the experience that's gonna lead and guide our people? We can't eat off the money. We're gonna eat for so long, but are you teaching them to plant seeds? You might have some cash, that's cool, but do you have any survival tactics? That's what the penitentiary taught us. Survival. And a lot of organized crime. Because I'm be honest, yes, we're searching for the truth, to know the truth, and to how to relate to God and be a servant. But at the same time, you have reality, son. Brothers and sisters, don't get it twisted. Yes, we love God, but I thought it's God God stays up there. The gangsters stay down here, and I gotta see his ass every day. So I got to be in compliance, I gotta be in compliance, or A, B, or C, or D. But you grow out of that. Now, hey, if the guys drove on me tomorrow, like, nigga, let me hear you say something about God, I'm gonna split your head. Well, I guess my head gonna be split. That's just what it is. That's the price you pay, because I'm not gonna stop talking about God or following his word. That's what it is, to the death or unto life. And then I don't look at death like the average person. I look at it as entering life. You are like the Father, a spirit. That consciousness we carry is the Father's spirit. That the Ruach HaKodesh that he blew into the breath of and blew into man and create, and man became a living soul through that breath. That's the consciousness you hold. If you hold your breath, you ain't gonna die, but you're gonna lose consciousness. That's that I am. That's what speaks to you when you might be in a jam and your spirit speaking to you, telling you, don't do this or don't go that way. They over there, don't do that. Or don't go around that corner. Or don't say this or don't. You could feel energy. That's the spirit that's operating this in you, family. Spirits are real. It don't got nothing to do with no voodoo, no mumbo jumbo. It's the truth. You can read this stuff in the word. We've been studying it all our life, but yet we've been misled, family. That book is talking about real people. And just so happen, we the people. We one of the people. All people in there, but I'm talking about the main characters. That's why you see us in the conditions because of the decision, not because God chose to put you in that decision. Like I hear a lot of people. No, God chooses for all to live. Don't he allow the sun to shine on the good and the wicked? He allowed the wicked to even enjoy the rain. What if the wicked planting seeds? That means the wicked is enjoying crops. You understand what the power of planting seeds will do. My bottom line is God's spirit. That Ruach is in all of us. And we learn that. We search to know that. And we yearn to know that. Now I understand why. A lot of patience, researching. I learned how to research a lot. I was doing a lot of research in the penitentiary. I was reading so many books. Lord have mercy, taking so many notes. I still take a lot of notes in books and things that I read and study to this day. No matter what I do, I take notes. I'm like, you probably was a Levite, or you probably a prophet. The Most High, you doing all this right. Maybe the Most High moved your heart in another life and had you recording. You know, you had the scribes. Christ ran across a lot of problems with the scribes because they wanted to hold on to the way to the 10 that Moses came with, the covenant that came through Moses, instead of understanding that the covenant giver is here. The lawgiver is right here with you. What you need, yeah, we understand and we don't forget. We don't negate the law. No, we fulfill it. I was just saying that. I got a problem with the Christian church and the preacher today because they did a thing on us with this grace thing. And then people not understanding that it's just not the physical world that's at work. They show us ghost movies. We see all this. Well, in a ghost movie, that interpretation comes from the spirit realm. Where do you think they get that from? The spirit realm is real. So therefore, the word is the truth. But we look at it like I heard Lil Wayne one of his songs, and that's what made me have to stop listening to him. He talking about we think the Bible's a comic book. I'm like, what? Nigga, you done lost your mind. But yet I hear him at the same time professing to love God. And I ain't gonna question it, but who makes a song like that and you love God? Nigga, you crazy. I'm singing the guy whoever song is praising them. When I'm singing or listening to something, I ain't talking about nothing's a comic book because it's not. It's real. That's the point I'm making, family. We would never taught that. And yeah, I'm mad at them, but I'm not stuck there. I'm mad in the sense where I understand I will never go within their houses anymore to sit and learn under them. No. God in his word expresses for you, commands for you to study to show yourself approved unto him. That means you need to get to know his word. So I learned a lot of being in the penitentiary. I learned resilience. No matter what's happening, you can't stop me. Only thing that can stop me is me. I'm not going to stop me based on what? As long as the Most High give me the breath of life, I'm going to keep it moving. Was the first thing you did when you got out? Went to work. My dad had a tire business, a tire shop, and he was doing auto mechanics. I went straight to the tire shop. He taught me, I became a tire technician actually. Taught me how to repair tires, Then I started going out. I was dealing with this Jewish guy who had took control of his father's junkyard. I was doing business with him, got into the tire business with my dad. Was buying tires and rims, buying them, cleaning them up, painting them in most cases, and selling them, making a lot of money. Making a lot of money. Fucking with them tires, selling tires, making a lot of money. But I was going through a process. And working for my mom and dad through their business. And halfway involved in the streets. And was told, don't get involved in the streets. If you get, look, G Wayne, if you get involved in the streets, you're gonna have to kill a motherfucker every year. I'm like, huh? They told me, don't do it, blood. Don't mess with the streets. And I'm like, well, that's a chance I'm gonna have to take. I wanted the bread. And I sure got out there. I was selling everything that wasn't nailed down out here. And we was on some straight gangster shit. I ain't gonna even get into the details of all that, but yeah, I stuck my foot in the water. Got with my guys, the good fellas, and Lord have mercy. Which I repented of all that. I stopped doing things, and a lot of things happened. I lost a lot, fam. I lost everything. And a lot of things happened. A lot of things good, a lot of things, some things good, a lot of things bad. But those were the seeds we planted. But all the while, I never lost that desire to know the Most High. I can say that much. Never. Even every day. My girl will tell you, this nigga had a church on. Once he get that phone call, he get dressed, he be watch some mafia movie, and this nigga gone. He gone. The duality, good and evil. I repent of that to this day, but it was there. It's in all of us. Where do you think it's come from? It's in your mind. It's there. It's you. Everything that you're reading about comes through you. You make the decision, even if it's a bad decision. But long as you, that's what faith work with. Movement, action, motion. You know, if I speak a thing, say I believe a thing and have faith in it, then there should be, that requires a motion. I should be working towards that. And when nature, the spirit of the Most High, recognize that you moving in that frequency, yes, that door is gonna be open to you. I learned a lot in the penitentiary. When I get out, I learned to let go of the whining. I went through a lot of trial and error, but I had to learn, and which I realized I learned the hard way, to let go of the whining, because the desires of the whining, man, you know, fuck around, been on the news. Especially now when I'm seeing things that's transpiring and going on, people walking in banks, passing them notes. You would have probably seen me on camera with a mask or something. I'll never forget, I wanted to do a robbery. I'm like, I'm gonna rob a bank. But my thing was to use that thing point break. Point from the movie Point Blank. Point Break. Point Break. I can't think of the dude name. He was this actor. I'm quite sure everybody followed for a while. I can't think of his name. He was a good actor. Gentile. I can't think of his name, but yeah, he played in that. Keanu Reeves. He played beside Keanu Reeves. Damn, what's his name? His face right in I could see his face right in my mind. Lord, I can't think of his name. Yeah, but they were robbing banks and they would use the president's mask. That was their face cover, president's mask. And I wanted to use that. And I got that call. I'm like, yeah, I got that call a couple of times. And I was like, no. I just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. Motherfuckers was disappointed, like, Joe, what the fuck? I wasn't scared of nothing. That's why I'm laughing. I wasn't scared, which is stupid. You think about it. Y'all actually sitting here plotting on really robbing a bank, bro. Yeah, we was plotting on robbing the bank. Wasn't scared of no goddamn bank. What was they gonna do? You got guns, we got guns. We don't. It ain't about the guns. It's about moving effectively with efficiency. And we knew how much time we had from watching Heat. Man, I'm telling you, that's why I used to watch the mafia movies. The shit that we had on our mind, if I wrote a book, y'all would probably be laughing like, huh? You probably think I was lying, but trust me, I'm not. Believe me, I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I am not lying. And a lot of stuff, I was like, oh, you been watching them mafia movies, you can't listen to that shit. Trust me, the mafia movies done gassed a lot of our asses up. And gassed a lot of us up. And a lot of people ain't gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. That was the past. I can talk about it now. But I'm not gonna tell you the intricacies of stories or particularly what was done. No, 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 no. Hell no. I would not want to tell. If I can write a book about it, though, get paid to write a book, I'll write a book about it. And I mean, these stories people probably would be affected by, like, because these are the things that it's not like one state is doing things a certain way, and okay, the other state might do it a different way, not like they not in tune too. It's all about a paper chase. People trying to position themselves to add security, to be able to afford to live, add security, and live in life. Mhm. Shower their family with security and protections and, vacations and being able to buy your children things they want. Your significant other, helping your family, your extended family, if need be. That's all we wanted was our opportunity to have a piece of the pie. And I wasn't waiting on no man to tell me shit. Mm-mm. Huh? You a man just like me. I don't need no man above me to do nothing. Mm-mm. 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 Y'all gotta excuse me. I have to have me a piece of this pie. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But I went straight to work. I went to work, like I said, I went to work with my father at the tire shop. I was making good money. I was making extra money. He paid me, but I was making extra money, making good money. And then I got to learning. Then I got arrested. I got locked up for something. I got locked up. And I still had like 4 months of parole, so they wound up sending me back. I went back to Stateville, NRC, but I only had, like I said, like 3 months. Went to NRC. I sat there. I was in the county for a minute, but I wound up going to NRC. I sat there for a minute. I mean, like a pure minute. I was only there for a week, in which I still have my bond. And my people was like, shit, you come back, we're going to bond you straight out. I knew I was going to beat that case because that case was some bull crap. But I was on parole, which was stuck me. They automatically sent me straight to the county and sent me straight to the penitentiary. And I wound up beating that case. But they still shipped me out. I beat that case. Yeah, I beat that case. But they shipped me out on that parole shit. Yeah, I beat that case. Yeah. And they shipped me out on that parole shit, but they wound up bringing me right back. My parole was over. They brought me right back, family. I didn't even make it to the pen. Yeah, I was in NRC. I wound up running to one of the officers. He was a grammar school buddy of mine that I went to grammar school with. He was in the same classes, and I used to stand up for him a lot of shit. And I ran into him. He was like, Reese. I'm like, what? Great. Like, yeah, man. Y'all already know. I know they was hearing about my ass. We was coming up back then in the late 80s, early 90s. Well, rather late 80s. 90, I was in that motherfucker fighting that case. Yeah. I was like, damn. Let me kick it for a minute. And of course, Cat's looking like, I'm talking to a CEO. Nigga, I talk to who the fuck I want. I talk to who I want to talk to with respect, to what I was about. But that's a nigga I grew up with. Stop playing. Okay, some guy. Y'all don't know me. You got a lot, no matter where you at. Some guys get a little too goddamn extra. That could have came in handy. And we criminals, nigga. We might have to pay the police to do some shit for us. Who will? A lot of people don't know about crime. I don't know what the fuck they was doing. I didn't say I'm doing business with them, but a lot of these checks, you might have to create some palms to get some things done. We locked up. If I can pay this cat $2 to have somebody meet him and drop my number vote to make a move so I can get some things done or get some while I'm in the penitentiary, that's what's happening. Y'all know how that go. And things like that was happening. I don't know why people think the police or the security was so righteous. Man, stop playing. Not all of them. I ain't saying all of them was. We was buying them with none of that. I'm just saying some of them had a heart. They understood. The fuck they had kinfolk that looked just like us. They know what was going on. And then you got a lot of them that want no problems. You know what I'm saying? They understood. These Negroes, man, I ain't got time for this. Fucking give it to them. As long as it wasn't nothing illegal. You might want to come out for a shower. You out at night. You want to, fuck it, I need to get out. I don't want to be in a cell. Okay, it's kind of rough. I'll come out and sweep. Sweep the decks and mop the decks. Something to do. Help kill some time. You might be bored. Or I ain't gonna talk about some other shit, but I'm sure y'all seen it on the news with Chicago penitentiaries. But you gotta understand, them guards are human. The fuck you in the maximum penitentiary around us 24/7 like that, and you think you ain't gonna do none of what we ask you to do? Is you fucking crazy? You asking for it. You gonna get it. You're gonna do some of what we ask you to do. It's just the politics. It's just the nature of the beast. Any officer will tell you that. They might lie to you. Oh no, they ain't running shit. I didn't say nothing about running nothing. I'm talking about giving leeway for people to live with things which they already should be able to get, because you have officers in there think they have some motherfucking power. And back then you have to have it too, but I ran with the GDs. Yeah. And we would have got on your ass. All that, them officers playing games, whooping you and all that. Yeah, you probably had cases and incidents of that, but a lot of them officers knew what the fuck time it was. They wasn't crazy. They ain't want no problems. And people that was locked up, just because you locked up, don't mean you want to get them no problems, because your ass can wind up with a case with more time. You be there for a year, now you stuck with another, you can call 5-10 years, you gonna be sick. Your family, who you think want to hear that? You didn't caught 10 years or 5, you can caught 5 years for a knife. They probably like, what the fuck you doing with a knife? Me, I'm in the penitentiary. Motherfucker might want to try me. I ain't going. You know, they might want to try to too sweet you up in there. You got to be ready up in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Them cats playing them games like they tough and all that. No, nigga, you got to be ready. You got to get on your P's and Q's. I don't give a fuck what your reputation is. Motherfuckers figure they gonna try you, they gonna try you. It don't matter who you is. You get down wrong. Now, I ain't gonna say people wasn't into folly, but overall, no, our age group wasn't into that shit. Now, you probably have brothers doing shit behind closed doors you ain't know about, you know. But once we find out, you know what time it is. Oh, hell no, you an outcast. Get your goof ass out of here. We ain't into that. We don't do that. One day we going home. You know what I'm saying? What I look, no. I'm gonna expose your ass. You was doing what? Now you come out here and you a lot of yeah, a lot of brothers messed up, bro. But did I? No. I ain't seen no cat that I was locked up with, you know, that's out here now that was doing any of that bullshit. Because you gotta figure during our time we was getting business. And brothers ain't give a fuck about going to no city. We were getting pussy on the visit. I hate to tell you, but we was up in there having sex with our women. You know, the guards turned their head for a second. You could run in the bathroom. I'm being honest. You run in the bathroom, your girl scared to death. I bullshit you not. My girl with me. This who I'm with right. This who I'm with right now. Me and her ass did that crazy shit when we was young. Down there in Dixon in '96. We was on the patio. You know, everybody couldn't go on the patio. You had to be on a certain level as far as grade, according to your conduct, how you operate. And I stayed in C grade and F grade a lot. A lot, because I was a young hothead, but I understood order and how to operate. And I'm only saying I was a hothead because I pulled a trigger. Like I told you, I kind of grew up watching the mafia movies and shit and watching that gangster stuff. We used to sit and watch that shit. And now I'm grown. I'm like, oh, I'm in the trenches now. This how that go. You know, you kind of you want to test that shit to see if it really worked. And a lot of that shit really worked, but you got to understand it was no joke because you bringing your life to the line. And that shit could have cost you your life. You being a younger guy, you got an older guy, you got a lot of jealousy out here. Shit is real in the field. You a young guy, your eyes open, you see things a little better. You probably was doing a little better. Cats take offense to that. Even to this day, you speaking with knowledge. You speaking in the right way so you can spread knowledge so people can make better decisions to be in a better place. You know, put themselves and their dependents in a better place. People take offense to that, like, who fuck do you think he is? He think he knows something. I know I'm a leader. I represent my people, and if I speak to my people, I'm gonna speak the right thing to them, to uplift my people. Even though you may look at me as the worst thing on earth. So what? What the fuck that mean? But I can't. Hey, boy, I have you crying. I had you down, but I keep it real. I keep it a buck. You know, I care about my brothers and sisters, but what I care about a person talking about me or what they think about Dwayne, let me tell you something. That going one end out the other. I can give a shit less what they say. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I know if I'm out of pocket, I know I need to get things in order. I will bring myself to order. I humbles myself and will get in order. Am I teachable? Damn right, I'm teachable. I learn every day. You can never learn enough. There's always a way, newer way. It's always newer things to learn about doing old things in a better way to get a better return on now. Things ain't as hard as because the information is out here now. Instruction, the law. And I'm gonna say it again. I got a problem with the church and the modern day preacher. He don't understand the first thing about the Bible. He don't believe it because he told you the law is done away with. No, the law means instruction. Everything you buy a stove, it's coming with instruction to show you how to put it together. You buy a refrigerator, it come with instruction to show you how to put it together. You buy cabinets, it comes with instructions to show you how to put them together, or when you hang them, or how to apply the doors, how to put the handles on. It's going to tell you what screws go here or there, the size of the screw, what type of bolt head it is, whether it's a screw or a fastener, you know? So let's stop playing. That's why I don't have no respect for them, and I know they full of shit, and you need to close them down. But the point being, and if you do close them down, that means the people that's really awakened, that's in tune and living that life, you need to come forward and represent the kingdom. Don't be acting like the kingdom and God ain't real, and it's only real when your ass get in trouble and you got to call on God. No, this 24 hours, round the clock, kingdom first, before everything. That's why we having problems as a people, because it's our heart posture. And politicians not gonna solve shit. It's your heart posture. You need to humble your heart, repent, and seek ye out of the book of the Lord and get your instruction from him. And then, you got to believe it and have faith. You got to have faith, family, and believe it and move as such. And move in that capacity like you are. You him. I'm a king. This how kings move. You get your instruction from the King of Kings. It tells you in Psalms 83, God judges amongst gods. So when you're in his presence, you see him as he is. Christ said, I'm going to see him as he is. So if you're in Christ, and Christ seeing him as he is, and he's seeing Christ as he is, that means it works for you the same way. You can't go according to man's logic. That's why you need to study the book. Return to the book. Read the book incessantly, like you watch TV or listen to somebody on a podcast, or you searching for information to invest, or you think this is the best information you can use. No. Go and read Thus Said the Most High. The richest people you read about come out of the book, but they had an order of instruction and how they operated based on God's law, which means instruction. You hear some people say principles. These are principles. They're talking about God's law. The law. The law means what? That's instruction. That's the light. The Torah. Look it up. Law means Torah. It connects you to God, so ain't no way around them. You just can't look at it in a religious manner. You got to look at it as in life application, man, in a life application manner. This is the instruction and how I live. You can use these instructions to start a business. It'll show you how to deal with people in an upright. You should know, if I'm gonna deal with people, if I'm to invest in this and make money out of it, and this to last, then I have to treat my brother like God tells me to treat my brother. I should hold my brother in even higher esteem than I hold for myself. So that means I should have pure, real love for them. Not no cliche shit, but show them real love. Irregardless. My brothers, meaning not the world, because Christ told you, I pray not for the world. Go and read John chapter 17, verse 9. But those that receive the word, because why? When you receive the word, that brings you out of the world. To come to him means you must enter into his world. It's a different world in this world, family. Why else would Christ say, I pray not for the world, but those who receive the word? Remember, he said you be in the world, but not of the world. That means you're operating according to an instruction that's coming from eternity. That supersedes what man talking about, family, because that's in your spirit. That's the spirit that grows trees, the flowers, that creates the oxygen, that powers the sun, the moon, the stars, and the elements of the earth. That's also the same that's in you. Natural elements, what they call them. What Trump say, we need the minerals, natural earth minerals. Well, that's the same thing that's in you. Look it up, family. I ain't lying. That's why they got a thing about us. They want to discredit everything about you for its own purpose. I guess if I knew all this greatness was in you from the Most High, you been direct descendant, you been direct bloodline of the Creator. Family is deep. Now, a lot of them ain't gonna tell you that, but that's the foundation of what's going on my site. We are over here I work for the kingdom of Israel, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. My thing is to be a vessel for him, a trumpet to blow the shofar, the word, which is the word. The word of the Most High must go forth, and he's going to go forth from right here. And with that, peace to the gods. I'm out.